Om Sadashiva-Samarambham Shankaracharya-Madhyamam Madhacharya-Paryantam Vande Guru-Paramparam Om Sahana-Vavatu Sahana-Bhavatu Saha-Viryam Karvavahai Tejasvinavadhitamastu Vavahai Shantihi. Om Tat Sat. Om Namah Shivaya. Good morning. So we are on the 31st Karika of Vaithatya Prakaranam, the second chapter. We had finished the 30th one last class. So let us chant the 31st Karika. Swapna Maye Yatha Drishte
Swapnamaye yatha drishte
Gandharva Nagaram Yatha
Gandharva nagaram yatha
Tatha Vishwamidam Drishtam
Tata vishwamidam drishtam
Vedanteshu Vichakshanaihi.
Vedanteshu vichakshanaihi.
Okay. So, Vichakshanaihi, the person who is a jnani, the wise person. And how did he become wise? Vedanteshu. He studied Vedanta. What is his vision? Idam Vishwam Drishtam. He sees Idam Vishwam, this universe, Drishtam. He sees. How does he see? Swapna maye yatha drishte. So in the same way as a swapna, a dream is seen. And here Maya means the worldly magic, not the Trigunatmaka Maya. It means worldly magic. So in the same way as dream is seen, or the magician's magic is seen. And he gives one more example. Yatha Gandharva Nagaram. So Gandharva Nagaram is a city in the sky. And Shankara explains, because he thinks we may not be familiar with the word. So he says, these clouds that float over this in the sky, when you look at them, they are just floating all over the place. So they appear like various houses, various palaces, various big houses, various small houses. And it seems that women and men and children are running around the place. And then we can also see various marketplaces. He says materials for sale are available. Lots of people are selling lots of things. So it's like a full-fledged city. So he's describing the marketplace in a city, which is usually very busy. And what is unique about this, Shankara says that even as you see these, they disappear without any reason. So what does it mean? As the clouds are buffeted by the winds, they go here and there. So you might be watching what you think is a big house, and some people inside the house, suddenly a gust of wind comes and they all disappear. So for no obvious reason, they disappear. That is the first example about the Gandharva Nagaram. What about Maya? So here Maya means the magic show of a magician. And there also, what you see is not what actually happens, because you might find the magician cutting this lady into two, but later on that lady appears all hale and hearty and she's unharmed. So whatever you're seeing is not the reality. That is the idea being conveyed. How does it relate to Vedanta? This example, how are we to interpret it in Vedanta?
Perception of duality does not mean that there is duality.
Yeah. So perception is different. from what is really there. So that's the idea being conveyed. And therefore, until I come to Vedanta, I will see differences between Jiva, Jagat, Ishvara. Once I have studied Vedanta properly, and at this stage we are all familiar with all the major tenets of Vedanta. For us, what happens? Jiva, Jagat, Ishvara, intellectually they have merged into one non-dual reality, Brahman. I will continue to experience duality, like the sunrise, like other people in front of me, like your friends, relatives. Duality is experienced, but it is understood as not the fact. It is understood as mithya, and Advaitam, the non-duality, is understood as the fact. So what is being said here is that experience of duality will continue, but that experience of duality should not be able to displace your knowledge of the non-dual nature of the world and yourself. So, knowledge is a fact, unshakable fact. Dvaitam, duality, is only an experience. And this experience you will definitely go through because all your sense organs are designed to experience duality. But intellectually, you should negate the duality and say, all this is fine because my sense organs are experiencing it. Duality will be experienced, but actually, there is nothing, there is nobody but I alone. I, Brahman, am the only duality. And in his commentary, Shankara gives a few quotations. So, some of the quotations we know, like those of us who studied the Katha Upanishad, is Neha Nanasti Kinchanaha. Na Iha Kinchanaha Nana Asti. Here, there is nothing which is different. There are no differences here. That's from Katha Upanishad. Then from Brihadaranyaka, which we have not done, he gives a few quotations. Indro Maya Bihi. So Ishvara with his Maya, that is Ishvara is Satyam, Maya is Mithya. Then Atmai Veda Agram Asit. Atmai Vedam Agra Asit. That's again from Brihadaranyaka, which says Atma alone was there in the beginning. Then Brahmai Vedam Agra Asit. Brahman was alone there in the beginning. Again, Brihadaranyaka, Dvitiyadvai Bhayam Bhavati. Fear is there only when there is a second entity. Then again, Brihadaranyaka, Natu Tad Dvitiyam Asti. There is nothing which is a second entity in this world. So, in short, there is nothing but Brahman. That is what is being said in this particular Karika. So, the non duality is the only reality. What you see is because of the limitations of your sense organs. That should not be taken as real. There is no harm in seeing duality. The problem arises when you take that duality as Satyam. So that is what is being conveyed. Now we will go to Karika number 32. It's a very, very, very important Karika, as you will see as we discuss. One of the most important Karikas, and Shankaracharya very frequently quotes it in his Bhashyams. Okay, so remember, it is not a Shankaracharya Karika. This Karika is written by whom?
Gaudapada.
The Padacharya. Okay, so that must be remembered. Shankara is only giving the interpretation. So Karika number 32. Na nirodho na chotpattihi.
न निरोधो न चोत्पत्तिः
Na baddho na cha sadhakaha.
न
न
बद्धो न
बद्धो
च
न च
साधकः
साधकः
Na mumukshurna vai muktaha.
न
न मुक्षुर्न वै
मुक्षुर्नवैमुक्तः
मुक्तः
Ityesha paramarthata.
एषा
इत्येषा परमार्थः.
A very, very important Karika is well worthwhile committing this to memory. So, na nirodho na cha utpattihi. So, nirodha here means pralayam. So, there is no dissolution of creation, na cha utpattihi, and there is no creation also. So there is no resolution of the world. There is no creation of the world also. That is the first statement. Then na baddho, there is no person who is in bondage, and therefore only na cha sadakaha, there is no seeker also. Na mumukshuhu, there is no seeker, one who wants to seek moksha, mumukshu. Na vai muktaha, nor is there anybody who is a liberated person. Iti esha paramarthata. This only is the absolute truth, right? So, nirodha here means pralayam. Utpattihi means the creation of srishtis. Baddhaha means the person who is a jiva, samsari jiva. Sadakaha means the person who is doing sadhana for moksha. And mumukshuhu means the desirer for liberation. So there are two words which are very close in meaning, sadakaha and mumukshuhu. What could be a possible difference?
Sadhana could be also done as karma yoga sadhana. Mumukshu is when he knows that there is more than karma yoga.
No, here the whole thing is about jnanam only. So
before Chitta Shuddhi, one could be considered sadhaka, and maybe after Chitta Shuddhi is complete, mumukshutvam is complete. Just a guess.
I think, if you look at the wordings, a mumukshu need not be a sadhaka, right? Mumukshu is a person who desires moksha, but he may not be making the necessary efforts. So mumukshu need not be a sadhaka, but the sadhaka always is a mumukshu. So that difference we can see. The difference between a mumukshu and sadhaka is always a mumukshu because he was a mumukshu and therefore he is doing the sadhana. But mumukshu may just have the desire but not have the willpower to do the sadhana. So there's mild differences there. Therefore, there is no sadhaka, there is no mumukshu, there is no muktaha. There is no person who is free from bondage only. And therefore, Shankara says, in the absence of Srishti and Pralayam, or Srishti, Sthiti and Pralayam, in the absence of the creation, in the absence of the maintenance of the universe, in the absence of the destruction of the universe, how can bondage exist at all? Okay. So the question is, how does Gaudapada say that there is no Srishti, there is no Sthiti, and there is no Pralayam? How does he say there is no universe at all? Because it's a solid universe being very, very evidently experienced by us. What is the answer?
Because everything is mithya. There is only Turiam alone that he's looking at.
Very good. Because everything is mithya only. There is no real Jagat. And when there is no real Jagat, see, remember a mithya object has a dependent existence. A dependent existence is not real existence. So the Jagat doesn't really exist. When the Jagat doesn't exist at all, where is the question of talking about the creation, the origination, or the dissolution of Pralayam? Right? So that is the whole idea. Now, what is the pramanam that Jagat is mithya? Why do we ask this question? What is the pramanam that Jagat is mithya? Because all the worldly pramanams that you have, eyes, ears, nose, they only show you Jagat as Satyam. So only pramanam that Jagat is mithya is what? Is Shastram, right? Your sense organs make you perceive the Jagat, experience the Jagat. And if you rely only upon the sense organs, the Laukika Indriyas, then you will have to necessarily take the world as real. Jagat is Satyam. But it is Shastram which tells you that Jagat is Mithya. And Shankaracharya quotes, some of these are the same as the earlier quotes. He quotes extensively from Shruti. He says, Yatra hi dvaitamiva bhavati. So Yatra means during Ajnanam. This is Brihadaranyaka Upanishad. during Ajnanam, during the time when you have not studied Vedanta, there appears to be duality. So Dvaitam eva bhavati. A seeming duality is there, right? Who is Ajnani? Iha yaha Nana eva pashyati. The one who sees multiplicity in this world is an Ajnani. Kathopanishad. That Atmai Vedam Sarvam. Chandogya Upanishad. Everything here is Atma alone. Brahmai Vedam Sarvam. Everything here is Brahman alone. Then Chandogya again. Ekam eva advitviyam. Ekam eva advitviyam. There is only one Advaitam. In spite of the experience of duality, there is only non-duality. That is Chandogya Upanishad again. And then Brihadaranyaka is there. Idam sarvam yadayam atma. Idam sarvam yadayam atma. Whatever is here is only Brahman. So this is the, and why is he quoting here? Because your worldly sense organs will not show you the non-duality or the mithyatvam of the universe. You have to take the Shastra Pramanam to understand that the universe is mithya. And Shankara gives a small example to make us understand better. He says, this rope snake, right? Rajju Sarpaha, the rope snake, where does it exist? It is Manovikalpaha. It is a modification of the mind. Means it's a thought. The rope snake is a thought in the mind. And he asks a question. Does that rope snake originate from the rope or resolve into the rope? What is the answer?
Yes. The rope only is appearing as snake.
Yes. But where is the thought? Where is that idea? It is in your mind. It's a thought,
Right.
right?
It doesn't
That,
origin, it doesn't
that
resolve.
thought is due to Ajnanam alone.
Due to
What you consider as the originating of the rope snake, that is a thought in your mind. What you consider as the rope snake going back into the rope is also a thought in your mind. Right? Very important idea. The rope snake is an imagination alone. To connect it to the rope is because of avidya alone. And he says it is the same for this Jagrat Prapancha. It is in the mind alone. It's a projection. And since, just like the rope snake, which has neither origination nor dissolution, independent of the thought in your mind. When you say this, I see a rope snake, it is not a fact that the rope has turned into a snake. The fact is that because I don't know the truth of the rope, the snake thought has come in my mind. And when somebody shines a torch onto the rope, I know the truth of the rope, that it is a rope. The snake doesn't go back into the rope. The thought that it is a snake, it disappears. The correction takes place where? In my mind alone. And therefore he says, similarly, this Jagrat Prapancha, this universe is like the rope snake. Right? That whole thing appears in your mind. The whole thing disappears in your mind. So the rope snake is very, very similar to the universe. Okay, there's one important point here, of course. When I say I see a rope snake, what Satyam is it? Paramarthika, Vyavaharika, or Pratibhasika?
Pratibhas.
Pratibhasika. Why? Because it is related to your individual mind. Vyashti manaha. Right? So when I say rope snake is seen, that mithya rope snake is the projection of my own individual mind. But when I say universe is mithya, The universe is not a projection of my own individual mind. It is a projection of Maya, Samashti Mana, universal mind. That is what projects the universe. What is the difference? When I've understood that the rope snake is mithya, the rope snake is no longer perceived by my sense organs. But when I have understood that universe is mithya, universe is still perceived by my sense organs. Okay, very important idea. Why can you not say that the universe is the individual's mental projection?
Because
Because of
Avarna Shakti will continue even after the individual may realize.
Yes, that is one thing. And also remember that there is another darshana, school of thought, which says that the universe is a individual mental projection. That is the Shanika Vijnana Vada of the Buddhists. Right. And therefore here in Shankara's commentary, he brings in a Purva Pakshi, a person who objects. So he is saying, the Purva Pakshi says that you are saying that there is no snake. You are saying that the rope is mithya. Therefore, what are you really saying? You are saying there is nothing, neither the rope nor the snake. Therefore, you are a disguised Shunyavadi. You are a disguised Buddhist. Now, this is a allegation made very frequently against Shankaracharya and against this Advaitavada, saying that actually it is only disguised Buddhist Vada, disguised Shunyavada. What is the answer? How would you answer this objection? That you are saying there is no snake, you are saying there is no rope, therefore you are saying there is nothing, and therefore you are a Shunyavadi.
Shunyavadis say that only the conscious observer makes everything else possible, and but we are saying that the consciousness is always there. It's just that it's not perceivable without a reflecting medium, but it doesn't read an observer for existence. It is the very observer itself.
No, see, Shanikavadi says that consciousness is Shanikam. That every thought which comes, that is the consciousness. So there is no continuity of consciousness in Shanikavadi. But that's not the point here. The point here is that how will you answer this? You will answer this in very simple form. Whenever you take an example, you have to remain within the boundary of the example. That is the first way. Or you extend the example fully, all the way. Right now, what is this example we are taking? We are taking rope snake. So, in relation to the rope snake example, the snake is mithya and the rope is satyam. Correct?
Yes.
You agree? And therefore, if the Shunyavada says that, but you are saying rope is anatma and therefore it is mithya, what is he doing?
He's saying the rope also does not exist. And
Yes,
we are saying
gone
that
outside the parameter of the example. Right? See, within example, there is a satyam and there is a mithya within example. So either you remain within that example and you say snake is mithya, rope is satyam. If you are saying that rope is anatma and therefore it is mithya, you are taking it outside the example and then you should take it all the way through. You can't just stop there. Then you should say, okay, fine, rope is anatma, but what is rope dependent upon? Rope is universe, worldly object. It is dependent upon Atma finally. Therefore, you have to take it across. So either you remain in the Pratibhasika Vyavaharika example, where Pratibhasika is Mithya. In this case, the snake is Pratibhasika, it is Mithya, and the rope is Vyavaharika, it is Satyam. Or you take it fully through and say, fine, rope is Vyavaharika, but in relation to the rope, the Paramarthika Atma is also there. So there are two portions: Mithya Satyam, snake, rope, snake, and rope. Again, Mithya Satyam, rope, and Atma. So you either remain within the example or you take it all the way through up to Atma, which is not what the Shunyavadi has done. So that is the answer. That you should remain within the what you call parameters of the experiment, of the example. You take it beyond that and then you get into confusion. It's all very excellent Mananam points. Okay. Now, the same Purvapakshi, he, asks a question. When you say that, for example, in this rope snake example, when you say that the snake is negated, snake is shown as mithya, what is the methodology? How do you arrive at the conclusion that snake is mithya? What is the pramanam? What is the process?
When you show the light, then the snake disappears.
When you show the light, what appears?
Yeah. Rope
The rope
appears.
appears.
Rope appears, right? So this Purvapakshi says that a pramanam negates mithya by revealing the substratum. You understand? The torch, you can't say torch is pramanam actually. The torch is only the enhancer of your eyes. Your eyes are the pramanam. But torch is just
Right.
enhancing the eyes. So your eyes are showing that snake is mithya. How? By revealing the rope, which is the adhishthanam, substratum. It's a very important argument.
Yes.
Pramanam should negate a mithya by revealing the satyam. Okay, the argument is very,
Right.
very, it's a good Mananam question. Right. Why is this so? Because a mithya goes away. Why? Only when the ajnanam goes away. Only when the error is corrected, and therefore the pramanam is needed to produce jnanam, and this jnanam is by way of revealing the rope, the adhisthana. Okay, so this is the general rule for pramanam. Now this Purvapakshi says, nowhere in Shruti does Shruti say this is Brahman. What is the methodology? Neti neti. This is not, this is not, this is not. Okay. So this Purvapakshi says that this pramanam, whatever pramanam you are quoting, it is not revealing Atma at all. It is just saying that this is not Atma, this is not Atma, this is not. It's not. It's just saying snake is not rope, snake is not rope, snake is not rope. It is not revealing the rope. You are saying Jagat is not Atma, fine. Neti neti. But where is the question of revealing the Atma? Atma is never revealed in Shruti.
Self-revealing.
Excellent Mananam question, okay?
Atma is repeatedly revealed in Shruti. There's so many
Never
statements.
revealed.
Self-illuming. No?
Very good. So that is what Shankara says. That in the case of a normal two anatmas, like the snake and the rope, both are anatma. Rope is not self-revealing. Therefore, the pramanam has to reveal the rope. But in the case of Atma, Atma is self-revealing. A self-revealing entity need not be revealed. Therefore, Shruti does not do any revealing at all. It just negates.
Limitation of the example, we can say.
Yes. Right? So, this is a very, very important point. A corollary of this point is what? There is no such thing as pure mithya. There can never exist anything called pure mithya. It is always mixed up with the adhishthanam, the satyam. This is the nature of adhyasa. Okay, along with mithya, satyam has to be there. That is the nature of adhyasa. Take for example a statement, I am happy. Can you break that up? In I am happy, what is this term happy refer to? Ananda is reflected where?
Reflected in the mind.
In
As
what
in?
What vrittis? There are
It
three
is
vrittis which reflect Ananda.
Priya, Moda, Pramoda.
Priya, Moda, Pramoda. Okay. These vrittis are what? Thoughts in your mind. Thoughts are satyam or mithya?
Mithya.
Thoughts are mithya. Therefore, the reflection of on the thoughts of the Ananda, that is also mithya. It is reflected Ananda mithya. Therefore, in the statement, I am happy, I am is satyam. Happy is the reflection on the various vrittis. It is all mithya. Okay. But the happiness which is reflected, the original Ananda is part of I am. Right? The original Ananda is Sat Chit Anand. That Ananda is part of I am. That is not seen. When you say I am happy, it is a reflection which is experienced. So I am is the Satyam part. I am Ananda is Satyam part. I am happy is the happiness is the Mithya part belonging to the mind. Similarly, Aham Modaha. Aham is Satyam. I am Mudaha. Confused is the Mithya. Similarly, I am born, I will die. I am old, I am with a body. I see, I am the Karta, I am the Bhokta, I am old, I am young. All this has two parts, Satyam and Mithya. Satyam and Mithya exist together always. Right? So all this is where I am involved. Aham is involved. So that is Ahankara. It's called Ahankara Adhyasa. Okay? Because Aham is involved. And in that, we have to understand that Aham alone is Satyam. Everything else is an attribute belonging to the mind, which is Mithya. And there are two main problems. One is Aham, that is Ahankara, and one is Mamakara. So just as you have Ahankara, I am old, I am young, I am happy, you have Mamakara also. My wife, my husband, my children, my house. All these are Adhyaropa only, right? What is the unchanging, invariable in all these? Atma alone. Atma, therefore, is inherent in every mithya. Just like in the snake rope, the rope snake, the rope is inherent. Without the rope, the snake cannot be there at all. Which is to say, without the rope being there, the thought that there is a snake cannot exist in your mind. Right? And therefore, Shankara says that Shastram reveals that which is not self-revealing. And that is why Shastram will, or Shastram cannot reveal the ever revealed Atma. If, and there is a corollary to this, if you find a statement in the Shastram which reveals a fact which talks about a fact which you already know through other pramana. For example, let us say that some Shastra Vakyam says fire is hot. Right? The statement is correct. But what is the definition of pramanam? That one of the definitions is what? That which reveals something which cannot be revealed through any other pramana. And if fire is hot is a statement, is a fact which is revealed through your sensory pramanams. Therefore, a statement that fire is hot, which may exist in Shastram, remember that cannot be taken as a pramana vakyam. It is just a normal statement. You have to ignore that as pramana. Very important part. As we'll see when we do the Upanishads, the statements in the all statements are not pramana. Some statements are pramanam, some statements are arthavada, and so on and so forth. Okay, so it's a very, very important Karika. Any questions?
Oh, Maharaj, when we say Shastra is pramanam, we only mean it from the point of view of it revealing mithyatvam of the world. We don't mean
of
it's
revealing
pramanam from
anything which you cannot find from your any other pramana. For example, Shastram says there is, if you, Shastram says, for example, there are 14 lokas. Right? That is a pramana vakyam. Even though it is referring to mithya, it's a pramana vakyam. Right? Because no other statement tells you that. No other pramanam can tell you that there is a world, there are 14 worlds. Shastram says Brahmanasti. Brahman is there. That statement is only appearing in Shastra. None of your Laukika pramanams will tell you that there is Brahman. You may be able to infer because the world is created, therefore there is a creator. You may infer. But no pramanam will tell you that. No local pramanam. So some very important ideas are being conveyed. Okay. Now,
Also that Drigdrish Viveka verse that Asti Bhati Priyam. So
correct.
that
Also conveys. Yeah. So if you look at all these texts which you have done, and once in a way, if you are able to remember them, you'll find that consistency is there as far as Atma is concerned. Okay. Now we look at Karika number 33. Savair sadbhirevayam
भावैर्सद्भिरेवायम्
advayena cha kalpitaha
द्वयेन च कल्पितः
bhava apyadvanenaiva
भावाप्यद्वयेनैव
tasmad advayata shiva.
तस्मादद्वयता शिवा
Another very, very important Karika. So it says, I am, you have to supply Atma, I am Atma, this Atma, Kalpitaha is imagined, and Asadbhihi Bhavaihi. This Atma is projected, or Atma is seen as Mithya also, and also Advayena. So Atma is seen as Dvayam, Mithya, multiplicity, and Advayam is also seen as the non-dual Adhishthanam, the substratum. But Bhavaha, the Mithya objects, Advayena eva api, exists. The Mithya objects exist only because of the non-dual substratum. The Mithya cannot exist without the Satyam, and therefore, Tasmat Advayata Shivaha. Therefore, Advaitam is most auspicious. Okay, a very nice Karika. What is Gaudapada saying? He's saying there are two entities. The Adhyasa the superimposed entity, which is the universe, and the adhishthanam, the substratum, which is Brahman or Atma, they are both are projected by Maya. Both are projected by Maya. This is not what we normally think. We say Brahman is real and Maya projects the world. So what is he saying? He's saying actually both the universe and Atma, they are projected by Maya alone. So one can be said as Maya projected Jagat, universe, and the other should be called Maya projected substratum. Now, even though both are Maya projected, the idea conveyed is there are differences. Adhyasa, the world, is completely projected by Maya. It's a total projection of Maya. While the Adhishthanam, the substratum, is also Maya Kalpitam, but not totally Maya Kalpitam. Right? It's a very subtle point which is being conveyed. When there is something superimposed, then only you can say there is a substratum. You agree?
Yes.
Now, when you are saying that the world itself is not there, the superimposition itself is not there, how can you say there is a substratum? Right. So he's saying, when you say Maya projects the substratum Atma, you are saying that the substratum label, the substratum status, the Adhishthanam status of Brahman, that is projected by Maya. Not Brahman itself, not Atma itself. Atma is not projected, but the substratum status of Atma, that is dependent upon the projection by Maya of the universe. Because the universe is the adhyasa, is the superimposition, therefore you are giving a label to Atma saying that it is a substratum on which the universe is projected. But really speaking, two things only are projected. The universe, and because the universe is projected, you are projecting a substratum status, a label for the universe, for Atma, for Brahman. Brahman is not projected, but the label of Brahman is projected. Brahman as the substrate. So at Vyavaharika level, there is Jagat and there is a substratum which is Saguna Ishvara. At Paramarthika level, there is no Adhyasa, there is no Adhishthanam, there is no Saguna Ishvara. Very, very deep statement. At Vyavaharika, Saguna Ishvara has to be there because you got a Saguna Jagat. But at Paramarthika, it is not there at all. And therefore, when you are negating the status of Jagat as Mithya, you are automatically negating the status of Atma as substratum. When there is no Dvaitam, Advaitam will remain. But the word Advaitam will become irrelevant. As long as you have Dvaita Darshanam, you will have to retain the word Advaitam. But once Dvaitam has been negated, what remains need not be given a name at all. It need not be called Advaitam because Dvaitam has been negated. It need not be called Satyam because mithya has been negated. What remains remains without any words. Nirgunam remains, but without the status nirguna, because saguna has been negated. Dvaitam is mithya, that has been negated. Along with that, the label of Brahman as Advaitam or Nirgunam or Satyam, all these are also negative. And therefore, since Advaitam alone remains, Advaita Shivaha, it is very, very auspicious. So, important idea to be understood is that Paramarthika level, Atma has no substratum status, no adhishthanam status. At the Vyavaharika level, Naratma is called Saguna Ishvara. Saguna Ishvara definitely has Saguna status as a adhishthanam.
So it is the nameless, formless, we can say, reality.
Yes. That is why we
No
say it
status.
has not subject to any words. Yatho vacho nivartante, from where words return without describing. So that's two very heavy karikas, and therefore I will stop for today. You guys can bite your teeth on those karikas. Very important. Both are very well worth our while to memorize and think about while doing Nididhyasana.
Acharya, thank you so much. It was very beautiful.
Okay, so with this we'll stop. Om Purnamada Purnamitam Purnamadaya Purnam Eva Vashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Om Tat Sat. Om Namah Shivaya. Thank you for your patience. Om Om.
Thank you.